China says it launched a military satellite on Saturday to help clean up space junk. That's what they say. There are fears, though, that it could be a space weapon to use against American satellites. Mike Pompeo joins us. He's the former Secretary of State. Mr. Secretary, is China launching space weapons? And do we do the same? And are we behind in the space weapons race?
Stuart, good morning. I was not only a former Secretary of State, you'll recall I served as a CIA director for a period as well.
Yep.
Just one comment quickly. The CIA has to focus on the things that matter to America, on American security, to focus on things that are disconnected from that, things that don't get to merit, don't get to excellence, don't get to delivering good outcomes for the American people, put everyone's life at risk. And so when I hear Democrats talking about diversity, inclusion, all that good stuff, fine. Where's the focus unending, unceasingly on making sure we protect America? As for China and space weapons, we have known for quite a period of time that China was continuing to develop its space program, the capability to take out satellites, to execute military missions from space. We've been working right alongside that. We are in a reasonably good position, but make no mistake about it, the Chinese Communist Party has the capacity and the intent to do real harm, not just from space, but Stuart, as you've talked about before, to American infrastructure and businesses through cyber. There are real risks there, and this administration is woefully underestimating the capabilities and the intentions of Xi Jinping in China today.
Let's talk about China and Taiwan. Secretary of State Blinken wants all UN member states to support Taiwan's participation in the United Nations. My question is, why not make Taiwan a full member of the UN? Wouldn't that give them some protection from the Chinese?
It would. It absolutely would. And with respect to Taiwan, the United States is going to have to lead on this. We can't ask others to do the heavy lifting. Stuart, you know this full well. In the end, the United States is going to be the party that has a commitment to provide the resources that Taiwan needed so that it can defend itself. It's in writing. That's an agreement that we had signed up for. What President Biden did last week when he was on air saying he would honor the commitment to defend Taiwan and then had his own staff contradict him within hours, this is confusing. This is confusing to the world. It's confusing to the Chinese Communist Party. And I assure you, Xi Jinping understands that this demonstrates that this administration doesn't have a real policy on Taiwan. We should be doing more than talking about whether Taiwan can enter into an international organization. That's interesting, and we should advocate for that. But we have to do the real hard work.
But it's
to make clear to Xi Jinping that going after Taiwan is just unacceptable.
But it's unlikely that President Biden will go after and sort of really chase down China. I mean, strongly react to them when he's off to Glasgow and wants some kind of CO2 drop from China. If he wants that from China, he's not likely to go against them seriously and forcefully on Taiwan.
Stuart, this gets to where I started. This is about priorities. My priority, President Trump's priority, was putting America first. Things like woke culture and climate change weren't at the top of our foreign policy agenda. Saving the lives of Americans and making sure our soldiers didn't have to go fight and die in difficult places. Those were the things at the top of our agenda. You're right. Sure. They're prepared to trade climate change, and they're sending Secretary Kerry all around the world to go work on this and sacrifice the important American security objectives. Our friends and allies around the world see this. They see that we're a fake promise from China to maybe get rid of some coal in 2050. We'll give up an awful lot. This is a dangerous time for America. We need a president who will lead this properly. I hope President Biden will come to see this. Xi Jinping may grab our attention real quick and force us to respond in a way that is serious and thoughtful, not in the way that President Biden has responded to China to date.
The president is going to meet the Pope on Friday. So if I remember correctly, the Pope refused a meeting with you back in 2020. He said he didn't want to be used for political purposes. Am I right in saying that? He didn't want to be near Trump.
I met with the Pope on my... I did. You're correct about that. I met with the Pope on my first visit to Rome. The second time I had made clear that I didn't feel like the Vatican was using its moral witness in a way that protected religious freedom inside of China. The Chinese Communist Party was denigrating not only Christians and Muslims in the West, but Catholics as well. The Pope had a deep disagreement with that, and so he refused to see me on my second trip there, Stuart.
Okay, I'll leave it at that, Mr. Secretary, but thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you, Stuart. So long,
appreciate it, sir.